The Bahrain Grand Prix had its ups and downs. Here are the worst three drivers in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Welcome to my F1 channel, Peter on pole. My name is Peter, in pole position. Let's start with third place. That man, Nikita Mazepin. Oh, you didn't take long, did you? 12 seconds into the race and you were already done. Getting too excited on the throttle, complete rookie mistake. It's bad enough you're in a Haas car already, but to be making mistakes like that, I mean, at least, look, finish one lap. That's all I'm asking. In second place, Pierre Gasly. Listen, mate, we love Pierre Gasly. We've all got time for Pierre Gasly, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He had an absolute shocker. After Nikita's shenanigans brought out the safety car, straight after the safety car went in, Gasly gets front wing damage. Gasly hits Ricciardo's rear tire, which caused front wing damage. I'm surprised Ricciardo didn't even get a puncture from that. But ever since then, he just never recovered from the race. And every time on the timelines, on the time little sheets on the corner, it kept saying he was going into the pits. He kept falling. He was never getting better than maybe 15th, 16th place. Gasly had an absolute shocker after a fantastic qualifying where he qualified P5. He ended up retiring in the race at lap 55. There was no point really. And number one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving the finger. Do you know why? Because it's that man, Sebastian Vettel. It has to be done, ladies and gentlemen. I love Vettel, but I tell you what, he's had an absolute shocker of a weekend. It was an absolute stink. Where do I begin? The man's not recovered since testing. Testing was awful for the Aston Martin and Sebastian Vettel. He hasn't recovered from that. He got a silly penalty in qualifying as well, so he had to start at the back of the grid, all because he didn't slow down when there was double yellow flags. Come on, Sebastian Vettel, four-time champion, full of experience. And then for good measure, in the race, rams into the rear of Esteban Ocon, and guess what? Wasn't even remorseful. He thought it was Ocon's fault. Cost him 10-second time penalty. Terrible, terrible day at the office. And let me say something as well. I'm more worried about Aston Martin as a whole. Otmar, can't pronounce his surname. All he did was complain about the new regulations that took place. Listen, Otmar, you know the regulations. Now get your finger out. Change it. Complaining about that regulation far too often for my liking. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, Sebastian Vettel is pole position. He is the winner of the worst driver at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let me know in the comments below who you think should have been in this bottom three. Let me know who I missed out on. Big up Mick Schumacher, by the way, finishing P16. Good stuff. I'll tell you what, Latifi, you dodged the bullet because you were behind the Haas of Mick Schumacher, but in the end you retired, so I'm guessing you had issues with the car, so I didn't want to be too harsh on you, but it was far too often, too many times, I was seeing cars ahead of you and you were at the back of the grid, and that's not acceptable. No Williams driver finishing behind the Haas. Anyone that finishes behind the Haas, you're in the bottom three every single week. Make no mistake about it. Comment below on who the bottom three should have been in your opinion. With that said, peeps, lights out.